All right, here, let's see here. Just hanging out tonight. On an old laptop with a stinky keyboard. But it gets the job done. All right. I guess that should do it. So I'm on live here. Let's see what it looks like here. So, quickly, I'm just doing a test here tonight to see how things work here. And it's interesting because I think my YouTube feed is a few seconds behind. So I can go back to my software and kind of see what I'm doing live, and we'll go from there. So I'm just testing this tonight, and the reason I'm testing this tonight is, as you may or may not know, for 4 weeks now, I've been broadcasting Working Hands Radio and streaming it. I broadcast locally here from a local radio station, WJET 1400, and that covers the terrestrial airwaves, right? But then to get it out to the internet, we're streaming it, which took a lot of work. You'd be surprised to get the radio station for the whole feed to go through because it's a call-in show. So the call-in show has been working really well, but I've got a lot of calls because being a local call-in show over the airwaves, I would get those calls, but now I'm getting calls on Facebook or at the radio station because of streaming on Facebook from California, from Michigan, from Alabama, North Carolina. It's working, right? So the question is, do I want to start doing the live stream here on YouTube? So I'm going to go back to, let's see here, I'm looking at my software right now, which is in real time. So the question is if I want to really do this from Facebook, or do I want to do this from YouTube? Because it's dawning on me a little bit that the Facebook people have no problem with YouTube, but the reality is I think a lot of YouTube people have a problem with Facebook. And I'm not sure how big that really is. So I'm just on here hanging out tonight. This will be recorded and posted, and I'll probably get rid of it. But just to see if anybody jumps on. So if you guys are out there right now and you can hear me, or you want to chat for a second, ask me anything while I'm here. I'm all ears, all eyes right now, right here on YouTube. So let's see here. Just for fun, I guess I could have a little fun with this. Let's see here. I could have a little fun with this. Over the years, I really appreciate, go back to my software, so it's real time. I really appreciate American manufacturing, right? I'm the tool and die guy, and that's what my videos and lessons are always about. And I remembered when I was a kid, we had this really cool ice bucket, and it was copper. Well, somehow over the years, I kept it for a long time, and it got lost. I don't know what happened to that thing, and I couldn't find it. So I went online a few years ago, and I found a replica, not a replica, I found an original. And this is the ice bucket. Now, this is pretty cool. You can see this. The lighting's not that great. It's got penguins stamped all around it. And the two handles, Bakelite handles, remember Bakelite? They look like penguin arms, right? So, and then the inside is all stainless. I'm going to tell you something. This was made by, I believe, West Bend Manufacturing, West Bend, Wisconsin. You could put ice cubes in this on Sunday afternoon, and when you wake up Monday morning, there's still ice cubes. Pretty cool, right? So that's probably from the 50s because I grew up with this in my house starting in the 1960s. So I guess this is vintage 1960s. Pretty cool ice bucket, right? Sorry, I get all excited about ice buckets. So then we take a step backwards in history. Let's go back to YouTube and see what's going on. Anybody on here yet? It doesn't look like it. Maybe, maybe not. Those 4 people watching. If you can hear me, say hi. That'd be great because I'm just testing this for the first time ever. It's live stream on YouTube. So if you can hear me and you're watching, type in a comment. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it. So that was ice bucket number 1. Well, my mother-in-law, she's in her 80s, and she grew up in a family. They collected a lot of sterling silver pieces back in the 30s, 40s, right? So she's always had this great ice bucket at her house. I know the ice buckets, right? Why can't I stop? But I just admire craftsmanship. So what she did was she put away all her sterling silver pieces for her kids. And she has them all marked which kid gets what when they pass. She passes away. So I've always admired this ice bucket. Well, last time I was down there, Christmas Eve, I flipped it over and took a picture of the maker. Now this is a cool ice bucket. Excuse me. This one is sterling silver, at least plated, and it was made by Bernard Rice and Sons. I'm going to guess this is from the 30s. Okay, now this one's really cool also, because I love about this one, the other one you take the lid off, you got to set the lid down, get your ice out, right? This one, and hopefully it works because I'm holding it by my hand, when you open it, it stays open. It stays open. And you get your ice out. And this is a piece of American craftsmanship there. Look at that thing. Again, this is probably from the 30s, and I picked this up on eBay. So I love this stuff. It's really cool. That's probably it for the ice buckets. I probably don't need any more. Let's go back to YouTube and see if anybody's jumping on here. Hey, Andrew Cox. Can you hear me okay? Hello from Texas. Bob, good to hear from you. So what's going on with you guys? Any questions for the Tool and Die Guy tonight? I'll take them. I'm just kind of hanging out here at snowy Erie, Pennsylvania. And if you guys can hear me all right, that's fine. Now, I will say this live broadcast tonight is a little bit different, only because I'm just using a laptop with a webcam. You're just getting the sound from my webcam, so it's not, this isn't hybrid stuff here. So the broadcast I do on Tuesday nights, the Working Hands Radio broadcast, the live feed from the actual broadcast, with a $50,000 soundboard, goes through this, and it's impeccable. I can't tell the difference between the recording that I get from them the day after and the Facebook feed. So just out of curiosity, you guys, have you guys tuned into Working Hands Radio at all? And what do you think of it? And would you much rather watch it here than on Facebook? Do you guys have a problem with Facebook? I'd be curious to know what you guys think about that. Again, I'm just at your disposal tonight, just doing a test to see how YouTube Live really works. So just for fun, during my radio program, I can do things like this. We broadcast live from the Boston store, and it's a great shot of the Boston store back in the day. And see that big clock there? And that clock is still there. That whole concourse you're seeing now, which has got to be 300, good 200 yards long. It's 2 football fields. It's a city block. The only thing left is that clock. That whole thing is empty. And the pillars are still there, of course, because the building would fall down. But that's where we broadcast from. Up towards these windows up here, that's the front entryway. That's where I broadcast from. There's 7 radio stations in there, Connoisseur Media. So it's a lot of fun what we're doing with that program. And again, are you guys still on here? I'd like to hear from you, Bob and Andrew. Can you hear me okay? I assume you can, because I think you're still here, but maybe you can't, because you're not responding when I say hi back. Don't be shy. Come on, you guys. Say something. 4 people. Okay, if you just jumped on, I'm just practicing tonight with YouTube Live. This is actually the first video I've ever done on YouTube Live, at least on the Tool and Die Guy site. So, what do you guys think? You've been hanging around YouTube for a long time, and lots of free videos out there. What do you guys do with the trade? I mean, is your trade going all right, or is your job safe? What about those damn robots, right? God, I had a conversation today with a jeweler, of all things. And he's one of those guys he's a craftsman. When you walk in, he's got his optivisors on. He's sitting behind the jeweler counter. He's making jewelry, right? And it's I wouldn't say high end, but one of the better places in Erie, Pennsylvania. and this guy's a real jeweler. And he wears an apron. I mean, he's a craftsman like us, right? Except he just works with things that are worth a lot more. No, injection molds are worth a lot of money too. But he told me, and he's about my age, that he's winding down as far as technology. With the computers and robotics are taking over the jewelry industry, which I'm having a hard time believing, because that's so customized. I guess if you just go to the big box stores and Jared and all those places, they can whip out jewelry for the masses. But when you want something customized, I don't know, but he claims it's so. So let's see here. Let me go to comments here. All right. Hey Bob, just stopped by your channel. Gotta go, but audio's good, video's a bit laggy. Keep it up. Hey, from Iowa, the Hawkeyes. How about those Hawkeyes? I'm a Big Ten football guy, so I get it. So anyways, I didn't announce this. I kind of sprung you guys on this tonight. So if there's no further questions, I'm doing the Chevy Chase thing. A, 2, C, 1, the feed works. That's good. That's good. 2, the feed you'll get here from the audio wise will be much stronger at the radio station because it's broadcast through a major sound system, right? 3, you know more about ice buckets than you probably ever wanted to know, but those ice buckets are cool. You got to admit it. Those are cool. If you like building stuff and making stuff, they're cool. And 4, and maybe I will leave this video up because I'd be really curious from you guys. Like I said earlier, I think that, like I said, Facebook people don't have an issue going to YouTube, but I think some YouTube people have an issue going to Facebook. So I've been broadcasting Working Hands Radio for 4 weeks now on YouTube, on Facebook, on my Tool and Die Guy page on Facebook. But I've got just a few guys that are like, I'll never go on Facebook because they track you. I think YouTube does because they're owned by Google too, but I can work with it. So let me know. And if you can't comment live now, let's see here. Go Hawks. That's right. Go Bucks. Okay, inform me, Doug. Which Bucks? Don't know. Who are the Bucks? I'm sorry. I should know that, but I don't. So let's see what else here. So I'll wait for your answer here. But so that's what goes on when we're doing the broadcast at night. We put the sponsors up, the Boston store up once in a while when they're introing the show. One of my sponsors, Burials at Sea. Believe it or not, he's a really fun guy. And a lot of people get buried at sea, believe it or not. And he gets an opportunity to do that. So let's go back to the webcam. Back to YouTube. So what I'm doing here is if I go to YouTube Live right now and watch myself, it runs, same with Facebook, about 15 or 20 seconds behind. So that's confusing for me. So I switch back and forth between my live stuff that I can really see what's going on. So at least when I'm talking into the camera, it looks like I'm talking. And if I'm on here right now on YouTube, I'm 15 seconds behind. So thank you for calling in from Texas. Thank you, Bob. Thank you from Iowa. Nobody ever told me who the Bucks are. Can we at least get that straightened out before I end the live video? I would really like to know who the Bucks are. Can you guys handle that? Well, maybe, maybe not. So this was an experiment tonight. Again, it was fun, and I'll make a determination by this Monday night whether I'm going to broadcast on Facebook Live or on YouTube right here. And that's Working Hands Radio. It's a program for anybody that works with their hands. Anybody that's a craftsman, like that jeweler that I talked to today. I don't care if you're a carpenter. I don't care if you're a bricklayer, a toolmaker, or a machinist. You're welcome here. Welcome home. Working Hands Radio is your program. It's a real talk show versus a podcast where I just like talk at you guys and talk and talk. And we don't want to do just talk and talk at you guys. We want to hear from you. So don't make me get controversial here, right? You guys got thoughts on the trade. You have thoughts on the trade. I mean, do I really need to like say, hey, what do you guys think of Donald Trump? I can get things going, but I prefer to stay out of politics. But I have a habit of lighting up the internet within 30 seconds if I bring up politics. So maybe that would work for the program, but I'd rather not. I'd rather talk about the trades, working with your hands, the importance of that. And what I'd like to do as I end this live feed tonight is I think I might leave it up and you guys can tell me underneath what you'd prefer. If you prefer the Facebook feed or the YouTube feed, or you really don't give a shit. I said shit. Okay, this is it. Sayonara from Erie, Pennsylvania. I do speak fluent Japanese, obviously, and hope to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. This is, like I said, this was impromptu tonight. I just want to jump on and see how this works.